The brake actually, it gets stuck. I think the pin is rusted. I'm gonna have to clean that. The brake pin was seized real bad. I had to take the whole thing out because I couldn't pull the pin out while it was on the tractor. So I kept hammering it here and hit it over here with the punch, in and out, and kept spraying WD-40 until it finally came off. These supposed to be chrome coated, but apparently they are not. So I'm gonna sand them real good. And I may make a new pin with grease fitting, so stay lubricated. I finished machining the shaft, the new shaft. This is the old one. I made it a little bit bigger than the old one. It fit perfectly in the brake paddles and on the valve itself. Little bit over the old one. I'm gonna leave this end over here bigger so I don't have to put E-clip on it. However, I machined high-speed steel to cut for E-clip. The E-clip itself is measured about 45,000. So there will be plenty room for the E-clip to fit. I finished machining this shaft. I cut it to length, cut the groove for the E-clip. The original, they have a lot of space for the E-clip. This one over here, I made it about 7,000 to 8,000 wider than the clip itself. The clip fit perfectly there. I already tried it. The new shaft, I made it a little bit bigger than the original one because this was rusted, and when I took the shoe apart I had to sand all the rust clean. I thought to drill this shaft and put some hole for grease dirt, but I changed my mind. This bushing, they self-lubricated bushing, so I oil them real good the first time I assemble it, and then just some spray lubricant will be fine. perfect fit. I already tried the brake valve itself and it fit perfectly. The cutter for the E-clip worked perfectly. I have very minimum chatter. A piece of this length, it should be held on the live center on the back over here. However, the final pass, when I cut the final pass, I went over it twice. I didn't advance the tool or anything, just let it run until I have no material coming out, so I know this is all perfect. And I did measure it with a micrometer. It's perfect. It's all the same diameter. I did smooth it with 1000 grit sandpaper, and I'm gonna chuck it the other way. I'm gonna use collet, and then I'm gonna cut the other end. I'm gonna leave it higher so I don't have to cut for E-clip like the original was. The original, they have E-clip on both ends. When I inspected the tractor, the brake pedal, they were seized. You could pry them off and the tractor will go, and if you apply pressure, which is more than normal, the tractor will stop. And the valve is okay, it doesn't leak or anything. However, the pin was seized. This original pin was seized. I have to fight it to get it out. I tried to beat it with a hammer. From here I put punch and I hit it with the hammer. It didn't want to come out, and I didn't want to apply too much hammering to it because this is cast. I didn't want it to break. So I soaked it with WD-40, and then I hold it with the vice grip over here, and I kept tried to twist it and all that, and finally it came off. So I thought originally when I took it all apart to install some Zert fitting. However, it's gonna be little bit out of reach to grease it. And these bushings, they made to be to hold their lubricant. They have hole in them. And also this is cast. I didn't want to weak it. I bought the smallest Zert fitting to go in, but I'm gonna have to put them at an angle to be able to use the grease gun to fit it there, and it's just not gonna be practical. So it lasted for a long time without Zert fitting. I just keep spray it every year or so with some spray lubricant or something. I made a new pin out of good material. It's very hardy. And I cleaned all the rust, removed all the rust. I made this pin, I polish it over here in this area. I kept it little bit oversized, so I will have to hammer it in, so this pin will not spin. The only thing will spin will be the brake pedals. So I'm gonna grease them and assemble them. I did cut one end over here to use E-clip to keep it in place, and I left this over here oversized, so in the future I could pull it out easier if I need to. I'm just putting grease over here to prevent it from rusting. However, the valve is good. I did check it. I will have to back up these bolts. I backed up these adjusters little bit so the pedal will fit easier. They apply some pressure when they adjusted them in the past. There was little bit of pressure on the piston. I don't know if that was necessary or what. I'll check it once I get the tractor back going. I'm gonna pre-adjust them where there is no pressure applied on the valve. Okay, I have about maybe 1/64 to play. Alright. And of course the lock over here, so they both I also took these switches off and cleaned them. I'm not gonna install them here until I install it on the tractor because they seems like they may bend or break easy. I did mark. It doesn't matter, they exactly the same. However, every time I take apart something like this, I mark it because the way it's seated, you know, the O-ring or whatever, so it go back to the way it was. These O-rings, they go over here. But I'm not gonna put them on until I install it on the tractor.